Well, today I'm here with my good friend Simon Colson. Now, Simon is one of those rare internet marketers who's ethical and actually teaches what he does online. And the great thing about Simon Colson is some of his students have actually gone on to literally make millions of dollars online. In fact, how many students is it?
We've got 4 that have definitely done £1 million, so it's like $1.5 million. So yeah.
Yeah. So he's got 4 students that have made over $1 million online. So I'm here today to ask Simon some of his top tips for making money online, and to try and get some of those golden nuggets out of him today. Right, Simon, so how did it all begin for you online? How did you actually get started?
I started completely by accident, actually. So I used to work in the corporate world, worked for BT for 14 years, and took redundancy from them in December 2003, and created my first ebook, which was an ebook about investing in property in Bulgaria, of all places. That ebook sold really well, so then I did some more ebooks on property investment, and did ebooks on investing in Croatia, Slovakia, Slovenia, Turkey, Florida, and then just branched out from there to do other information products in different niches. So everything from plumbing training to growing bonsai trees.
So that's interesting. You weren't in the internet marketing niche like a lot of people. You were actually out there selling products in real niches.
Sure, yeah. I mean, really what I was doing, I just spotted a niche in Bulgaria, property investment, that a lot of Brits were buying property in Bulgaria, and then just looked around for what were other niches where there was high demand for information, good value content on stuff, and found, for example, there was a big shortage of plumbers here in the UK. Right. So I decided to create a plumbing training course to teach people how to reskill as a plumber.
Right.
And just really spotting niches in all sorts of varied markets, and then just creating a product either myself or often using outsourcers to create the products.
Right.
And then just concentrate on the marketing bit and driving traffic to websites.
Now, if you actually see a dog's head pop up during this interview, it's actually one of Simon's got 2 dogs here, and they're very, very active dogs. So we've actually got one sitting here looking up at us. There you go.
There you go.
There's one of the dogs. Oh no, we've got both of them coming now. So that's really interesting because, like I said, a lot of people, they teach internet marketing, but the only money they've ever made has been from internet marketing products.
Sure.
And I think particularly now, we've seen a lot of very unethical internet marketers, and a lot of these you've probably seen them before, these very scammy clickbank products, which are out there. And where would you see internet marketing going? Because right now, if someone's just starting out, it's very difficult to know. You go to ClickBank and you see all these real kind of hypey sales pages,
sure,
and it's very, very hard to know, where to start and what to actually do. Where would you see the whole kind of where is this all leading? I mean, is this do you think this is going to stop soon, or do you think these kind of scammy products are just going to continue? Or
well, I think the authorities are clamping down on a lot of this scammy stuff. So we've seen like the FTC regulations and the whole testimonial stuff, and ClickBank have tightened up. So I think it's going to be harder for those guys to make money, because really they're saying, got this great idea for making loads of money. All you need to do is find a load of mugs like you to buy your product, which will be just like my product. And it's almost like a glorified pyramid scheme, really. So I think it's becoming more ethical, internet marketing, but also the niches, and particularly things like ebooks, has got a lot tougher. There is so much free information out there now that I made my first million just selling ebooks. It's a lot harder to make $1 million selling ebooks today. You need to be a bit smarter than that, and maybe have an ebook that you give away. That's the front end into your funnel, and you're going to make your money on back end stuff like higher end teaching, DVD sets, training programs, that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I think the models become longer. You almost got to see your first product maybe as a loss leader. You're not going to make your million from selling 10 quid ebooks. What you might do is create an ebook, give that away, and give away 1,000 of them. And out of those 1,000, excuse my dog's barking. Out of those 1,000, then what you might do is get a number of people buying maybe a DVD set that's $100, $200, something like that, and then maybe run a seminar or a workshop, or recommend a program. In the plumbing niche, a good example, I started selling a plumbing training course, which was a DVD product, but I also had a back end deal with a hands-on college that actually did plumbing training courses to give me £500 for anybody that I refer to their college plumbing training course. So actually I could still have made money from that front end product if I gave it away, because about 1 in 30 people booked this college course, which made me 500 quid.
Really? That's like an affiliate commission, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it's kind of moving to a back-end model, I think, that your front-end things, a bit like supermarkets have loss leaders, they sell things cheap to get you in the store and then sell you other stuff. I think internet marketing is moving that way, that you need to be thinking, about your whole business model, and you're not going to make money necessarily on your front end product, but just use that as lead generation to get people in your funnel and then make the money back end.
I think you're absolutely right. I think the days of just building 100 like review sites and sticking them up and making a ton of money are over. Or the days of just getting, like you said, a $20 ebook and putting it out there and expecting to make money are over. You've got to treat it like a business, and build a list, market products to them, have back-end products. So it must be a lot harder for someone entering into the business today than it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think back when I started in 2004, really, I left BT in December 2003. And in those days, it seems strange now, but there was no YouTube and there was no Facebook. So really the only way to get traffic was Google AdWords or pay-per-click stuff, or optimize your website and get it ranked highly on Google. Those are your two methods. Whereas now you've got these massive, great free traffic engines like YouTube and Facebook. So in some ways it's easier to get those free leads at the front end to get people in your funnel, but the competition's got fiercer and there's more and more free stuff out there. So it's become more about giving really good value, giving good stuff that people will pay for, and it all comes down to return on investment really, and all the stuff that I've sold. You just have to ask yourself, if somebody pays you some money for this, what's their return on investment? What are they going to get out of it? Yeah. So you only want to sell products that someone's going to spend 10 quid, 20 quid, 100 quid, whatever with you, but they're going to get more than that in return in value. And all the time you can find markets where you can do that. You can still make money. Just, the gimmicky stuff that's just scammy is, you're on borrowed time really. And I think already we're seeing that those guys are falling out of the market.
So where do you think people go wrong? I mean, I teach a lot of people, so do you. And I do see a lot of people kind of chasing their tails, and they're buying every single course that comes out, and they're buying ebook after ebook or DVD course after DVD course. And in some cases, they're not even watching the DVDs, or they watch them and they just don't implement it. And I mean, where do you think people go wrong? I mean, what's the biggest problem you think? I
think the biggest problem is that everyone's just looking for the magic bullet. They're looking for the system that you just press this button and you get instantly rich. And I always say to people, just ask yourself this: if these guys had this amazing thing that you just press this button and you become instantly rich, then why don't they just pay 100 outsourcers for $1 an hour to sit there pressing that button for them? Why are they trying to sell it to you? Because if I had something like that, I wouldn't be selling it for $20 a copy.
I wouldn't sell it at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just get a warehouse full of people sitting there pressing the button for you, making the money. So generally speaking, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah.
There's always, some little tips and tricks and some little methods that might work. But normally they're on borrowed time, and sometimes they might work for a month or 2 months, but you can't really build a business around that. No. So I think the biggest problem I see is just, taking action. And my most successful students, the only thing that differentiates them from other people that haven't gone on to make lots of money is they just took action. They just actually bloody did something. They left the course, they followed the plan, and they did it. And I have my mentoring group this weekend. And there's one of my students that just did a course 2 months ago, and I sat there and they were really pleased. They've already got their product onto the first page of Google. And all they'd done was just followed the checklist that I gave them when they left the course and implemented it, and lo and behold, they're on the first page of Google. But most people don't even want to put in that little bit of work. They think there is a magic bullet, and they think if they just keep looking, they'll find the push button riches and the thing where they don't actually need to put any effort in. And to be honest, I like it that it's not that easy, in the sense of, if it really was just anyone with no brain cells could just sit there and press one button and become an instant millionaire, then that money's going to be spread around more people. I like it that the bar is there, and you just need to put a little bit of work in, learn a few systems, take a bit of action, and if you're willing to do that, you can make lots and lots of money. But 99% of people can't be bothered to take any action, so they're never going to get rich or make any money on the internet.
It's interesting that you say that, because I put my own workshops on, and there's in my workshops I usually have around 20 or 30 people, and there's been consistently kind of a group of about 3 or 4 people who come to all my workshops. And usually when I meet up with them a couple of months later, they say, oh yeah, I implemented that, I actually did that thing or that system you were talking about, and I've started making money. And it's usually those people, because they've got that tunnel vision, they know to follow it through and actually start implementing it. Or if it's an ebook, they'll start at page 1 and go right through to the very end and actually do everything step by step, which is exactly what I did when I first started making money. I bought an ebook, I actually printed it out, and I, with my pen, I started going through everything. This is how you install WordPress, this is how you do the plugins, and I went through my notes, and I actually did everything. I didn't leave anything out, and I followed it through all the way to the end. And I think that's what you need to do. You need to, get your information from a reliable source, someone who actually knows what they're talking about, someone who's actually doing this every day, and then actually implement it. And I think the other thing I find a lot of people getting wrong is they think that things have to be perfect, or they have to know everything before they can start. Or, you know, I see it time and time again where someone spent a month building a squeeze page because they just think it has to be absolutely perfect before I publish it. I mean, I've got my squeeze page, which has actually got a 60% opt-in rate right now. I was actually just showing it at a workshop yesterday. I actually noticed that at the top there was like some text overlapping a graphic, and I hadn't even noticed that. But it converts every day at 60% all day long, and it makes me money. And there's a mistake on it. I mean, I've got sales pages with spelling mistakes on, but they still make me money. And I think it's just the fact of, you know, don't think it has to be perfect or you have to know everything before you start. I think it's just you need to get out there and start implementing this stuff and getting it to work. You know, I mean, would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a couple of things there. One is that one of the things I've noticed about some of my most successful students is actually that they've got a certain background, and that is either that they've been in a job where they're used to doing what they're told and taking action. So a lot of people, one of my most successful students, Rick, was in the military. He was in the Navy for 3 years, then he was a fireman. So he's very much used to being told what to do, not questioning it, and just going and doing it and taking action. And I've had other people, you know, that are ex-services really successful because they're just disciplined and they've got that self-discipline to actually follow up and take action. So I definitely agree with that kind of motivation thing and just, you know, following through and doing stuff. Another thing I've noticed is that people who have done Tony Robbins type training, you know, the whole mindset stuff, typically those people are much more successful. And in fact, you know, I spoke at an event with Tony last year, and one of the things he said from the stage was, you know, success is 80% mindset and 20% mechanics. Yeah. So, you know, in our business, we're teaching people the mechanics of how do you build a successful internet business. We teach them websites and opt-ins and autoresponders, but you've got to have the right mindset to actually just take that and follow it through. And I think that's really important to actually, you know, have the right mindset. Another thing you said about completing, you know, having the perfect website. I see that an awful lot. People absolutely, you know, want to build a Rolls Royce when, you know, a Ford Escort would have done. And, you know, I say to people, you know, ready, fire, aim. What you want to do is just get an idea, get a website up there, start driving some traffic to it, and then refine it and tune it and tweak it. And some of my first websites were so ugly. I mean, they looked like a 5-year-old had made them, but I still made money from them. You know, my first website was making me $400 a day. I look at it now and I'm just ashamed. It looks terrible. Yeah. But what I did was, once I started making some profits, I then paid a graphics designer to remake the website for me and make it look beautiful. And you know, there's no point spending loads of time and loads of money on an idea, because you can test the market really easily. You can register a domain and get a website up today, whatever niche you decide to go into. And one of the other things I've done is just to test the market. I've actually set a website up before I've even got the product. So I've just made a quick website, driven a bit of traffic to it just to see if I had a website that sold this, would anybody want to buy it? And then if somebody clicks the buy now button, just take them to a page that says, sorry, we're just updating this guide at the moment. Leave us your name and email and we'll let you know as soon as it's ready.
That's a very clever idea, isn't it?
So they think we've done version 1 and we're just doing a new version, maybe version 2. Actually, we haven't done version 1 yet. So we're not calling anybody, taking anybody's money. We're just testing the water, and it's really easy just to drive a bit of traffic, you know, using a pay-per-click platform is something typically I do, and I'll just run pay-per-click on it for a day just to drive traffic there, just to see if I get 500 people to that website, what percentage of 500 people interested in this niche would actually part with this amount of money to buy this kind of product. And if you just do that, you can test an idea out and decide before you spend any effort on it, really, and you can build a test web page like that in less than an hour. So you can test the project out virtually. It's like virtual testing, you know. And then if it's a goer, then great, roll it out.
That's a great idea. That's a top tip there. If you want to create a product and you don't have to go through all the hassle of building it and then finding out it doesn't sell, you can find out if it's going to sell before you've even built it. Absolutely. And I've heard of people doing similar things on Amazon where you can launch a product which is going to come out in 6 months' time, a book, and you can do something very similar on there and see how many pre-orders you get. Yeah. And another tip related to that is just promote an affiliate product. Find someone who's got a similar product to the thing you've got in mind. Just try doing some affiliate marketing. Just stir up some traffic and send it over to their affiliate page. Just see, does their thing sell? If their thing sells and you think, I can do one better than theirs or at a cheaper price, then you know you're going to sell more and make more money. So you haven't even got to set up a test website. You just set up a bit of traffic to go to someone else's affiliate site. Now, a lot of people, I speak to a lot of people at seminars and live events, and a lot of you guys actually email me. And I find a lot of people will have kind of fragments of knowledge. They'll have seen a few videos, maybe even been to a few seminars, read a few ebooks, and they have a few kind of fragments of knowledge, and they haven't really made any money yet. What would you say people really need to know? If you could kind of split it out into several sections, what would you say people kind of like need to know as a minimum to kind of start really kind of implementing this stuff and start making money online? Is there a kind of...
Yeah, I guess there's a few core skills that you absolutely have to have.
Yeah.
The first one really is just market research, and is finding that niche market. So you need to know how to find out how many people are searching for information in this niche, and you need to learn some skills around looking at competition and develop the skill for saying, okay, my idea is I'm going to sell personalised golf tees.
Yeah.
So you need to know, about, just go to Google, search for it, look at the first page of Google, and just ask yourself who's selling them, how much they sell them for, so what's the competition look like, is anybody giving them away free? So just that first kind of sanity check really, and we teach this on the course. We actually get people filling out a spreadsheet. So we've got a spreadsheet for kind of market research, where we just get them thinking about generating a number of ideas and then looking at what's the top keywords for those niche markets, and for each of those keywords, what does the competitive landscape look like? Who else is in that market? What they're selling for? What's the price of buying traffic in that market? What's the likely back ends? If you started selling that product, what could your back ends be? What would your conversions likely to be on those? So how much money could you make? So it's a real skill, because that just stops you picking the duff markets. If you learn how to do good market research, you can make sure that you're only backing winning horses and you're picking a good market. I guess the next skill is just a few fundamentals around basic websites. You need to either know how to put up a basic website or know someone that can do it for you. Now I taught myself in the early days using it's called Microsoft Front Page.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah.
So that's what I used. But these days it's really easy with things like WordPress and Weebly. So it's pretty easy to learn the skills to make a basic web page. Guess next steps is the next important thing is the traffic. You need to learn some ways of generating traffic, and then, there's an infinite number of ways of making traffic now. But you just need to to learn some ways of generating traffic, whether that be creating simple videos and uploading them to YouTube, whether it's building a group on Facebook and just getting some Facebook skills. Could be some optimization stuff, learning about keywords and backlinks and that kind of stuff to get your site to rank highly. Or any other methods, forums, press releases, loads and loads of different ways you can drive traffic. But you need to have some traffic generation methods that and that work for you, because if you've got a website, you're only going to find out if it sells or not if you get traffic to it.
Absolutely.
So you need to learn the traffic methods too.
Yeah, I mean, I see that quite a lot with people. They build these amazing websites and then they get like one visitor a day. And they wonder why they're getting no sales.
Yeah.
So traffic is very important. Now, these key skills, I understand that you teach these skills on one of your courses.
Sure.
Your MBA course. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, yeah. I've been running courses now for about 4 or 5 years, and it actually all started when one of the guys in my band saw I was making all this money online. Actually,
just on that, Simon's actually in a band. I
won't sing your song now, but
yeah.
Actually that's kind of how I got into this, because when I said that earlier I left BT on redundancy, the reason I left BT was actually because I was fed up with it, and I thought there must be a better thing to do, and actually always had a hobby of playing in a band. So I started a tribute band to Coldplay, and so I started this Coldplay tribute band, and we started getting a couple of gigs a week that paid. I was earning as much from those gigs as I was from the day job. So I actually took redundancy with the intention of being a musician. Accidentally, I fell into this internet marketing thing because I had a lot of spare time on my hands. But anyway, Rick in the band, one day after band practice, was asking me what was it I was doing on the internet, because he could see I was making all this money. After 3 months, I'd been out and bought a new Porsche. Then I got a 7-room extension built on my house, and I bought a brand new Range Rover. And it was like,
you're suddenly interested in what you're doing.
Yeah, dude, what are you doing? You don't go to work anymore, and you're getting all this great stuff going on. So I sat down with him and I showed him what I did, and he went on and built a business based around career guides, because he was a serving firefighter at the time. So he did a guide on becoming a firefighter, then did one on becoming a policeman, becoming a paramedic. So I taught him how to do it, and literally, he actually won awards. He won an award from HSBC Bank for a Startup Stars Entrepreneur of the Year award, and I thought, wow, he's done that just using the model that I taught him. And then the next person I taught was actually one of my old bosses at BT. Somebody I used to work for at BT, and I was chatting with him, and I showed him what to do, and he started a business, and he started a business really on behalf of his wife, and she basically started making enough money that she could give up her day job. She was working for Leeds Council at the time in an office, didn't really enjoy her job, but using the stuff that I taught them, they actually set up a business selling an ebook around interior design and house makeover stuff. And I thought, wow, I've got a skill here that I could share with other people. So I started running training courses, and I've been running those for several years now. And we just refined the course. And really what I like to think on the course is it's the distillation of all of the stuff that I've learned. So I've been doing this for 8 years now, and I've done everybody's program. I've done, high-end programs like Rich Shefferin's $7,000 program. I've done Perry Marshall stuff, been to Armand Morin stuff, all these guys. And they've all got good stuff to teach. They've all got little nuggets, and if you take all those best bits and put them all together, plus 8 years experience, and I've done something like $15 million now in online sales. Yeah. So all of that experience I compress into 3 days and just people the A to Z of what you need to do. So we do the first day is about market research, is about creating websites. The second day is all about traffic generation, and the third day is all about doing it all cuter. So it's all about leveraging your upsells, your back end stuff, and tips and tricks that you can automate things, just make it all run really seamlessly and maximise the money that you're making. So it's a 3-day program. It's called the Millionaire Business Academy, and we call it that because we've really made millionaires with this program.
Absolutely. I know some of them, so
so it's really, really effective, and we've got absolutely loads of success stories. There's I know you're going to give the people a link where they can go to read more about this program, but on the webpage you'll see there's loads of testimonials on there. We've got video testimonials, we've got handwritten testimonials, and we've got testimonials of people that have been through the program, and then there's success stories. Actually got an email the other day from a lady that was on the webpage, and she did £250,000, about $400,000 in the first 6 months. But she actually sent me an email and said, Simon, you need to update my testimonial because I've now done £1.1 million. Wow. So that's about $2 million since I did your course, which was about 2 years ago. So, loads and loads of brilliant, verifiable success stories, which I think is very different to many people. There's a lot of people out there teaching internet marketing, but I think generally they haven't done it themselves. They've maybe just made money by make money on the internet products, and they might have made 50 or 100 or 200,000, but they certainly haven't done 15 million. There's lots of other people. My students have had success again, which I think is a big differentiator, because a lot of people that teach haven't got those success stories because really what they teach doesn't work generally for other people, or they just got lucky, or it's out of date stuff. Maybe it's what they did to make money 5 years ago, but it doesn't work today. So they're just selling the dream to make a few bob now.
Right, okay. And that's over 3 days, and I understand you have coaches as well in the room who can help people out with stuff.
It's a kind of holistic program. What we've done over the years is we've refined it, and it's very different in many ways. So first of all, actually at the course, it's not just me teaching, but we have a series of coaches, many of which are ex-students that are success stories, and they actually help out as well. So we have breakout sessions where you can bring your laptop to the course, and we can actually help you build your website live in the classroom. So you get time to do some practical work. But also after the course, you don't just finish the course and get kicked out the door and said, thanks very much, good luck. What we do is we provide personalised action plans for students after the course. So everyone's going to be coming to the course at different points. Some people will never have done anything ever before in their life. Some people come on the course and they've got an existing business and they just want to take it to the next level. Some people have got a project, maybe they've started, but it's just not working for them. So what we do is we actually produce a personalised action plan, and we draw out your roadmap for the next 6 months. So we actually show you month by month, these are the things you should be doing this month, and this is what you need to do the next month. So you get 6 months personalised action plans, plus we do webinars monthly for our students as well. So you can actually get together live with me on a call, and any questions that you've got, once you start applying the stuff, we can deal with those and take those on the call. I've also optionally got an unlimited support service on the back of it as well. So actually you can get support from me and the team at Internet Business School on an unlimited support basis after the course as well. So it's a very kind of holistic program. It's probably why my program is more successful than just about everybody else's I know, because we don't just teach you and then let you get on with it. We actually hold your hand as you go through the process.
Which is, I think, where a lot of courses go wrong. They just do the training and then it ends. People go away and think, oh, that's nice, and they don't actually implement any of it.
Sure, yeah.
Whereas with you, you actually help them along the way.
That's right.
Okay, well, if you want to take your business to the next level, or you're struggling online and you haven't made any money yet, or you really just want to increase your revenue, I would highly recommend Simon's course. I've actually known Simon for a couple of years now, and a lot of his students are actually my friends. And I've been tracking what they've been doing online, and a lot of them have become very, very successful online, making a huge amount of money, in fact. So, I can definitely wholeheartedly, definitely recommend Simon's course. And now, when's your next course actually taking place?
The next course is 10th to the 12th of February.
Yeah.
And that's at London Heathrow.
Right, and actually I'm going to be at that event. So if you book for that event, I will actually be there, so I can answer any of your questions, and we can have a chat, and I can help you, as well, take your business to the next level. So click on the link below this video, and that will take you through to Simon's page, where you can find out a little bit more about Simon's course. Okay.
So yeah, we did do